Good morning. It's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. It's Sunday, November 30th. I hope you're doing well. Let's see who shows up. Got Gabby and Regine on the list today. What can we talk about? Well, we're killing time until people show up. Sorry, whoever's here. Hello. I'm trying to think of what to share. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving if you're in the United States. A lot of my watchers are not in the United States. Did everybody have the traditional dinner? I did not. Hi, Nicole. How are you? Good morning, Regine. So, hang on. Regine, I have your payment, and then I have Starry Sky. Hello, how are you? Hi, Misty. How are you? I got, let's see, I'm going to tell you what I made because I don't know what else to talk about right now. I made what did I make? Beef bourguignon, which is basically fancy pot roast, and mashed potatoes and roasted potatoes because of sensory issues in the house. I don't know what else. What else did I make? There was food. Anyways, it was good fancy pot roast. I used Ina Garden's recipe, and she loves wine. So like other recipes were like 2 cups of wine, and she's like, use the whole bottle. So the whole bottle went in. I used a Malbec instead of a drier wine, which is suggested because I don't like drier wines. I think they're like tanniny and whatever. So I used a Malbec. So if anybody was looking for a recipe, her recipe is very good. It's just pot roast. It's basically you brown the beef in bacon fat, and I use bacon fat and butter and salt it. It's like very easy. I didn't do the cognac though because I didn't want to risk setting anything on fire. I wasn't looking for that. Okay, wait, let me update the list here because I just said Starry Sky for 2. And then I made a homemade pumpkin pie. I always roast my own pumpkins because it just tastes better. And I usually do, a ginger snap crust, but I just did graham cracker this time, which is not as good. Whatever. You don't care. All right, I've got, hang on, let's see who I've got for readings. Regine, Starry Sky, Kay, and Kay. Is that right? I got the list. Oh, and I responded to it. Like immediately I responded to it. I got new cards. I got a couple new decks. So decks, not decks. Okay. I got this one and I really like it. I went to get a new phone yesterday, and then I went to this bookstore called Indigo. There's only one here in the United States. It's a Canadian chain. But I went and bought a whole bunch of books, and then also for friends. But I got this, and so then last night I was with my 7th grader, and I was like, do you want me to pull a card for you? And she had just been complaining about a headache, and it was really funny because the health one came up about healing and whatever. And she was like, oh my God. I go, that's really funny, right? So, and then my 3rd grader yesterday asked me if I would buy her a Ouija board. And I was like, no, absolutely not. She's like, why? And I was like, because I can teach you to use your abilities. Why would you want a Ouija board? She's like, oh, but I don't know how. I'm like, right, because I'll teach you. So Ouija board. So I like this deck. This one I worked with a little bit. I got this one yesterday too. It's a runes one. I'm not sure. I need to figure out how to work with it better. Because as a one card pull, it's kind of weird. I feel like it's not, I don't know. So I need to work with that one. And then I have this one. I've had it. So we can work with that one. I don't know. I'll add that into the list. But there was like about 6 decks I wanted to buy yesterday, and I restrained myself and bought 2. So I bought some trashy books. Oh, fuck, that's really hot. Sorry. I bought some trashy books and, well, not like super trashy, just a little trashy. And then books for my kids, and then a couple decks. All right. So who wants to have a reading? I'm sorry. I'm just going to admit it. I like there's some people who like trashy. I like trashy books. I can't help it. I like a little mystery and adventure and some steaminess. I know you gave me she gave me this huge list, and I'm like, oh. So I'm going to look through it though, because I know, right. I don't have any, I don't have any, I have a lot of tarot decks too. I tend to, if you notice when I do the emails, I tend to do them from the Light Seers because I just like that one right now. I think I go through ones that are ones I really like versus first of all, I like the way it shuffles. And I just cut the deck and draw. I don't let them like fly out. I just cut the deck and pull the ones from the top. I have other ones. I like the clear one, but it doesn't shuffle as well because they tend to stick to each other a little bit. So, all right. I don't have any other great stories. I mean, we just, the girls went with their dad to see Wicked on Thanksgiving, and I stayed here, and then they went to the Bronx Zoo with their dad yesterday, and I stayed here. I don't know. I heard something today. Oh, I can't remember what it was, so never mind. It's not even that important. So let's just keep moving. I did watch back some more of my videos. There's somewhere I want to ask. I can't remember now who it was, where I was like, oh, I should ask if that's happened or not. But like some prediction ones, because I'm going to start putting notes in, like in the comments about, or whatever, in the description about things so that things can be searched easier. So if anybody wants to watch some of these back and help me out, just kidding. I notice that I do this a lot when I read, and I don't do it normally. I do this a lot during my readings. I'm like really, I don't know if it's an energy thing, or I'm not like constantly putting on, or if it's like a stim thing. So apologies if it annoys you. Okay, let's do some readings. Gabrielle, are you here? Gabby? Oh, you are here. Good. Happy Sunday to you. Do I get any vibes on the new? Everyone comments on their health for being so skinny. I haven't really thought about it that much. I think that out of an observation of like what I noticed. Okay, so I had a lot of friends growing up that had eating disorders. So if this is an issue for you, I'm not judging anybody. It was just an observation I'm making. But I did notice there was a trend, and but I feel like this is like such a younger group, right? So I'm talking about 15, 16, 17-year-olds versus these women who are in their 30s. I think people who have same energy links or same belief systems tend to flock to each other, just like neurodivergent people tend to find each other. Like you find your group of people, right? You resonate in a certain direction. I also think in Hollywood and LA, and I've talked about this before when I went out to LA, I didn't love the energy in LA. I didn't love that. My eyes look kind of gray today. Okay. So this. I felt like, and I mentioned this to a friend out there, I was like, I don't think people like their bodies very much out here. There's a lot of uber skinny people without any muscle tone. Like thin, thin, thin. And I think there's a culture of like women not having women bodies, right? And I think that's I don't want to say like a weird pedophilia thing, but kind of, right? This idea that women are supposed to stay like super, super skinny with not really much definition anywhere except for the boobs. Like, I don't know. Then I think there's also an idea of that can happen among in groups like that are fueled by like people being praised for being uber skinny. Like I noticed that, well, like in that group, it just, when people are that skinny, like you can see their ribs. And when they, in like nursing school, they're like, okay, you're supposed to palpate to the fourth intercostal space. Like palpate means feel because you can't see it. And you literally can see all of their ribs. I think that then what happens is there's a competitive thing that happens in groups like that of who can be the skinniest and whatever. There's a lot of insecure energy that like runs through LA. Um, I don't love it. I like the East Coast because I like, and this might be my neurodivergence. I just am very direct about things. I tend to be very honest and forthcoming, and um, I mean, I don't think I'm mean about it, but I don't know. You always know what I'm thinking. My face is like, I heard this saying this week was you have a closed caption face. Like you always know. Like you can, I can't hide anything. I do not have a poker face. I have a closed caption face. Living in the West from the East Coast, and it's true, we are more direct. Yeah. Um, the Midwest is interesting. Having lived in Wisconsin for 9 years, I went to high school and college there. The Midwest is interesting. Um, Not bad by any means. I think Chicago people tend to be a little bit more direct, um, but also not as direct. I didn't say it. You said it, KU too. I am not a passive aggressive person. I am like, you will know what I think when I think it. You miss the East Coast for that reason. Everyone's super judgmental here in Utah. Yeah, I just I think that comes from a feeling of insecurity, really and truly. It's like, because there's like this undertone, like this like undercurrent in LA of insecurity, and I think that that's just bred by the industry. um I also noticed that a little bit in Texas too. Like I would always say, like, people would stab you in the back and turn the knife while they're smiling at you. um I think that's why I just, like, when I came to New York, I was just like, oh, this is great. Now my cousin whose husband works in Silicon Valley, they like he's she said that there tends to be a lot of neurodivergent people. So she's like, people are very direct there. So that might be like the little spot that's not that way. Um, but I love the East Coast. I really do. I like Jersey a lot. Um, and the people that aren't from here that come here are very similar. Um, or that I say feel like that thrive here are very similar. There's some people that come here that just don't. They don't. It doesn't fit for them. That's okay. And I'm not judging anybody if you're from the Midwest. And one of my favorite people in the world right now is, like, a lot of my favorite people are from the Midwest, and a lot of my favorite people are from, I have like really good friends and people that I love dearly that are from other places. They're just things I notice energetically. Um, but I tend to also like gravitate towards the people who are like okay with my directness, and they're good with that too. Anyways, whatever. Um, but I have a closed caption face. I found that really funny. I was like, oh, that's so me. So, Gabby, what's your question this week? If you're new here, hello, welcome. I see people watching. If you stay to the end, I'm going to do some paid readings first. And then if you stay to the end or come back, I'll do free oracle card readings for you if you don't want to pay for a reading. You've been feeling a bit nervous. You had to register for delivery on Wednesday. It's close. It's happening. It's so funny. I don't remember registering for delivery, but I guess I did. I think the office, I don't remember. I did it 3 times, so I must have, right? This is not psychic. This is just from what it's like becoming a second-time mom from being a first-time mom. And I've said this to you before, but I think other people need to hear it too. Your heart just expands. Like there is no, am I going to have enough love? Will they still feel loved? All of that. Your heart just expands. Make sure you ask for help. Some people aren't very good at just helping when they're, like, and even when you ask for help, sometimes they're not very good at it. But make sure you ask for help. Make sure that you take care of your own nervous system, because when you're overstimulated, it's really, really easy to get overwhelmed. Even almost getting sad because I have all this time for my son. You will still have enough time. You will still make room and include him in care with your daughter. Include him in the excitement of getting to be a big brother and all of that. Am I still frozen? It doesn't say I have a problem here. I'm not frozen. Okay. Hi, CB. Okay, so let's look at then. I keep getting shown you kind of like having a snuggle moment with your son, and I feel like he's kind of draped over your belly, and you're sitting there and you're not crisscross applesauce, but you're sitting on the floor and your legs are kind of out, so he can kind of sit in between them. And he's kind of draped over your belly, and I feel like you're rocking a little bit back and forth. It sounds like humming to me. I'm hearing that like there's a sound bite that's like but it's slower. You feel like you're not going to have enough time, but you just fit it in. And I also feel like I see you wearing like what's that wrap? There's a wrap it's a long piece of cloth and you kind of wrap it around and you just carry it. I see you carrying her a lot in there and doing things with him. You find ways to make it work. And like, I feel like your husband helps out, but I also feel like there's still then this pull of like feeling like, yes, he's helping out and taking your son or doing something but I also feel this guilt of like, that it's not you. You cannot do it all. The baby wear. It's like a sling. There's a different, there's a million different of them, but he loves to sing, so we always sing together, and he loves to feel my belly when she's moving. I just feel like he's like kind of draped over your belly. I gotta tell you, she might end up having a little bit of reflux. Did your son have reflux? Because I feel like she really likes to sit in that sling, and you might feel like she's crying a lot, but she's fine there. And I think it's more about her being positioned upright rather than she only wants to be on me. She only wants to be with me. I think she might have a little bit of reflux. He had reflux. He's finishing up school. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, your husband. Sorry. He's finishing up school because the VA gives you so much time. Choose the GI Bill, so we'll be done in July. Okay. Did your son have reflux? Because I feel like that's why she um, prefers that. These are all like weird little things I'm getting shown. It's not like it's like things to expect. And I feel like the first diaper you buy is not good for her, and you buy a different brand, and that's better. And I think you're going to end up having a lot of blowouts with the first brand. I don't know why I'm getting that. Sorry, it's not that exciting. Um, and perhaps it's because they're like, well, it's because if she thinks about the things to come and thinks about like more of a practical approach to it, it helps her with her nerves. Like just thinking about those things rather than um, your labors and delivery are going to be very quick, not precipitous quick, but quick. Um, like I feel like Jennifer, I got your questions. So funny, my son had so many blowouts, so they went through many brands. Yeah, I just feel like you'll find one in the second brand, you've got it. Um, it's going to be a pretty easy delivery. It's not, I mean, it's really feels pretty uneventful. So that worry about not having enough love is just not it doesn't that's not possible. Your love expands. It's not a finite thing. I mean, think about all the new people you bring into your life. You always make room for them somehow, right? And the ones that are most important, you prioritize. Your son will really want to be a helper. So make him a helper. Have him get the diaper. Have him get the stuff. Um, he doesn't have to do the actual changing, but have him be the important part of it. Um, I feel like I have to say it's okay to give her bottles. So maybe you exclusively breastfed your son and now maybe you're pumping a little bit or supplementing a little bit. And some of that feels like maybe to get a break in the middle of the night so you can sleep. But I feel like I just need to say like that's okay because really fed is best. Right. So like while we I mean I exclusively breastfed, but only because I like was like it was just easy. I produced a lot of milk. But it's not always easy for everybody. And like really and truly, as long as your kid is getting nourished, that's great. My stepbrother was all bottle and I think he has a master's degree in engineering now and he's very successful. And I haven't talked to him in a while. You know, my family stuff. Um, but like very smart, very funny guy. Like a good person, minus one little thing, one little fault that I'm just kidding. I just told him. Long story short, I basically said, I really wish you well in life. But I hold no grudges against him. He just, you know, the cards landed where they did, and I played them as I saw fit. I've spent a lifetime, I realized this morning, I'm like, I've spent a lifetime protecting people who never protected me. And I will continue to do it mostly because I have children. And I think they're more important than anything. So, but a lifetime protecting people that have never been protected with me. That's okay. Karma's a bitch. Just kidding. Okay, so why did Oreo cookies just come to me for you, Gabby? Have you been eating them? Have you been craving them? Thank you, Regine, for being on top of this. Can I please have an insight on the energy around me? I feel very content lately. Thank you. Girl, that's your energy. So when you lean into this idea of, sorry, I guess we should put this on silent and whatever. Nicole, I got yours. Oh, you just bought Oreos. Okay. I feel like they needed to take that as a confirmation that like that is some of that is a little bit more intuitive and just sit with that. Okay, so when you decided to start leaning into your own power and just really trusting in what you're doing and trusting in the universe, whether you call that your guides or whatever, you can end up feeling your own energy around you. So there are times where I'll see my own aura out of the corner of my eye. It's very interesting. And I just feel like you're sort of doing that now, is where you've set this intention around you, and that's now become the new normal for you. And the calm is your own energy. That's you. That's your higher self, but that's you. Misty, I got yours too. So it's not like, you want to think like, oh, this is something outside of me, but like really and truly, like I was trying to tell my daughter, like, I'll teach you how to connect into you. You are just as much a part of, like, when I say we all have that divine spark within us, you are divinity. And so is everybody, right? We're all a part of the same source. And when you just decide to lean into that belief system and connect more, you start to notice the calm around you. Like once you start to create calm here, everything sort of flows in that. And your energy is not just in this tight little corporeal frame, right? It expands out. It's why, like when you're in a room full of people, some people's energy just repels you, right? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Some people's energy just repels you. It's why, not last week, but the week before at skate practice, I looked at this one woman, Frances, and I was like, Frances, it's like, your stomach hurt? She's like, why? I was like, I don't know. And because I skated away from her when it happened. And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, why? I was like, I don't know. My stomach just hurt really bad when I was by you. And then 10 minutes later, she's like, I have really bad reflux. So I will kind of get stuff before somebody actually feels it. But your energy doesn't stop here at the frame of your body. So it's gonna expand. And then it's also the idea of like when people have hauntings, I think some of that is just not actual haunting. It's your energy in that space. And it's also like if people hear footsteps, sometimes that's really just energetic echoes of their own, and also time overlaps. Okay, Jennifer, I will ask you what your questions are specifically once I get through the other people. So yeah, you're just feeling your own stuff, which is like, hello, that's amazing, right? It's why, um, it's like kind of why I don't like reading people's houses or like going to people's houses to read, because there's just a lot of stuff that's still in their house, like old energy that's still in their house. And it can be from them or from others, but then like I gotta like cut through all the weeds to get to like, instead of just like sitting here focusing on you, on a Zoom thing. Self concept works amazingly. Like when I tell you mindset is everything, and what follows I am is really important, and how you speak to yourself is really important. And also, I was watching some of my own old videos. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to bring that up again because that's important. Is like the idea of like everything is neutral until you give it meaning or value. And so, um, I mean, you can even like sit in the same experience and ask somebody else how they experience it, and they'll experience it completely differently. So neither is right. They're just sort of where you're at with it. And also you find that when you carry a better self-concept where you're not beholden to somebody's outside validation for who you are, then I'm bringing out this stuff now. I'm like noticing after I watch stuff back, I'm like, I really do put it on a lot. um, when you like decide like, oh, people like me. People are inherently attracted to me. People are magnetized like by my energy. People find me interesting because I don't think you've changed so much. Okay, I don't want to say this way. Your energy is brighter and you're definitely more confident, but I saw that in you a long time ago. The thing I have to fight when I do readings, and you'll probably have to learn this too, is or when you connect with people energetically, is to see them for who they are rather than the potential they have. Because especially when I was younger, I only saw people for their potential, and I was like, oh, but they have all this that they carry. And so I ended up ignoring a lot of red flags and diving headfirst into a lot of karmic relationships that have taught me. I don't regret them. I'm done with them, but but I learned a lot from them for sure. A lot about myself, mostly. Um, but yeah, when you start to change that though, when you start to change your self-concept, it's like changes a lot of stuff. And it's not that you were a bad person before, but just like with anything, like you don't know, like we live in a world of comparison. And so like comparing and contrasting. And so like you don't really know what you like or where you want to be until you figure out what you don't like, kind of like you need that to bounce it off of. There are times when I would get readings. Um, there were times when I would get readings, uh, and I just needed to hear the person say it out loud and be like, oh, no, that's not it. And they're like, well, why did you even ask? I'm like, because I need to hear you say it out loud in order to process it and then feel it, my own intuition into it. Next week is our anniversary. Yay. Maybe I'll get some flowers for us. I love that it's been 7 years. I love that. Thank you so much for like hanging out with me that long. Good. Yeah. So you found me then pretty like not, I hadn't been doing YouTube that long. I'm so grateful for you. Like, whew, that's like really hanging in there. um, I mean, also just trusting me enough to like guide you through whatever. Oh, I know what it was. I heard Hoda Kotb talking about, there was a man, it was like just a soundbite from some interview she did. And there was a man who I guess sat next to her on a plane, and she had a procedure done. And she was like, oh, I had a procedure. He's like, well, what procedure? And he kind of kept pushing her to say, like, she ended up getting to the point where she said she had breast cancer. And he's like, kind of said to her, I don't remember the exact wording, but he was like, well, you can take that, whatever struggles you have. He's like, that's a part of you, just like going and getting a degree or becoming a mom. Like that's a part of your journey. And you can stick that in your pocket and carry it to your grave. He's like, or you can share it with others, and maybe you'll help somebody along their own journey. And there's a point to this. Oh, so so I think that like some of my wanting to help people on their own spiritual journey is not to be like, look at how great I am, right? Because there's a million people out there, right? But it's just to be like, these are my experiences and this is what I've struggled for. Like, if you don't want to, take some advice from me, right? Or take a nugget of whatever my experience is, and maybe it'll help you on yours, or maybe it'll help you. I think like when I did therapy, I felt weird a lot my whole life. Like I just felt so different and weird. And I think kind of because some of these abilities make me a little weird in a way. And people have kind of visceral responses when I tell them what I do. They're either like, oh, I don't believe in that at all, or oh, don't tell me anything because it's scary. Or you can feel their energy shift automatically to being uncomfortable around me because they're worried about what I'm picking up. When in truth, like I was already picking that shit up anyway. A, B, everybody has stuff. So I tend to be like way more not caring about anybody's stuff and what they put out there. And like, honestly, if I was really repelled by somebody, I just tried to not interact with them as much as possible. Like I avoid them like the plague. And there's not that many people like that, to be honest with you. Like most people just have kind of stuff that's human. And I think the minute we can allow ourselves some grace is like the very second when the minute you allow yourself grace is like when you start to move and grow and like make amazing things happen in your life. No making me cry today. So yeah, I just think if I can share that with anybody, then I want to. I also want people to feel more powerful because it's like sucks feeling like you're just this little pinball being bounced around at the mercy of others. That's the worst. All right. I love you, Regine. Okay, Starry Sky, how are you, my dear? I've been thinking about you this week, so I'm so glad you decided to pop it up. Maybe I like telepathically called you in. I think that happens too. So like if you're ever like, oh, I've been thinking about you, and somebody calls you or texts you, just saying. I did call you and I knew it. See? I'm magic. It looks like my niece Marjorie and her boyfriend of 3 years are breaking up. Do you see them breaking up? How do you think you can support her without creating dependency? Everything I've ever told you came true. That's because I'm magic. I don't know. I don't know why that is. I love that though. I'm glad because it would suck to be mediocre. Just kidding. I mean, if you're going to do something, you got to do it right, right? Okay. So mediocrity also wins, by the way, because I used to say in school, C's get degrees, because I was just like, some things I was like, oh my God, I cannot. Also didn't know I had like executive function issues and was trying to study the way a neurotypical does. And like my brain doesn't work that way. But once I figured it out, I was good to go. Also worked a ton too. So I didn't get a silver spoon. I'm just kidding. Okay. And my talents, these ones are not transferable to school. They didn't help with that stuff. Okay, so I did dream about tests a lot, but then I could never remember them until I sat down in front of them. So that's not very helpful. Okay. They're going to break up. I feel like it's weird. I feel like there's like a push and pull for like 6 months. I mean, she's better off for it. You won't create a dependency because I don't feel like you're going to have to help her out financially. I just feel like it's becomes more of an emotional support, but she's not going to be a dependent on you. Like it's not going to become a weird codependent thing. Um, it's more just sort of like being present for her is going to be very helpful. I feel like I'm going to call him, I was going to say man, but I don't feel like man is appropriate. And I was going to say gentleman, but I still don't feel like that's appropriate. Person with a penis. Sorry. I feel like he would say these little things to her that were sort of demeaning, but he'd be like, "Oh, but it's cute," but it's still kind of nicked on her. Um, and I don't. It was like never like it's like a little bit over time, little here, little there, and it just over time really degraded her sense of self. I feel like she doesn't trust herself. She doesn't trust her own power and her strength and her ability to overcome and um or supersede, if you will, or be resilient. I said they would have a non-conventional relationship. But things change. I don't know. I just don't feel like I feel like he's we were talking about passive aggressive earlier. I feel like that's kind of who he is. I don't feel like he's a it's just these little things over time. Like have you ever noticed her putting her down but like also him putting her down but also like kind of being like, "Oh, it's so cute that she does this," but it's like not really a positive thing. And that's what I feel like it is. It's like these little things. So you said, yes, you have saying that so that if someone's not reading the chat back, if they ever watch it beyond the live, um, it's these little things over time. I've always side-eyed people when they joke in a negative tone about people because I think I heard something once when I was younger and it really stuck with me, the idea that like every joke when someone's joking about somebody else has an ounce of truth to it. And you start to notice when people say things, I'm like, oh, that's kind of true. And so then you feel like I feel like it's mean. I don't like jokes that dig on other people. Um, a little bit, yeah. I just don't like I just I guess it's patronizing. I don't know. I don't know. So but I feel like there's this weird, like maybe another 6 months before they're actually broken up. So, and then you had a second question. It hurts when you read between the lines. Yeah, I tend to read between the lines a lot. But I also tend to like, here's something I've also started doing is if I don't really understand what the context is, or I don't really understand somebody's response, I don't fill in the blanks for that one. I tend to just kind of let it lie and not give it meaning. Uh, and just go, okay, whatever. Because you know, there's the one side of manifesting, right? But then there's also just living as a human and not in the constant, like consciously manifesting mode where you're like, I don't have to even give it meaning. I can just let it be what it is. You guys think you should join the condo board? Wait. So I'll tell you something is your guides never tell you what you should or shouldn't do. They're telling me you would be an asset to the board. And you would be a voice that hasn't been there. It feels like you would be a strong voice for those that haven't had a voice yet. I don't know if there's a man and a woman that are leaving, or there's a man and a woman that they're highlighting that, like, the man looks like, let me see the character I'm thinking of. Okay, hang on. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is going wrong. Okay. For the board, sorry. Character. Sorry. I'm gonna see if it's this. No, it's hang on. Hang on. Have you ever seen Office Space? That movie? And I can't remember the character in there that I'm trying to think of. So give me just a second. This guy reminds me of. The guy who played Milton. Let me see if I can find it. He reminds me of this guy. Can you see him? I don't know. That's what I keep seeing there. And the woman, I feel like she's shorter and maybe a little more portly or round. Excuse me. I just feel like they're like being on the board makes them feel like they have credibility. Oh, that's Dave. Okay. Hang on. You said it hurts when people read between. Okay, just posting so I can multitask and listen. Okay. So my guides think I should join the condo boards. So equals do. Oh, do. Okay. I'm such a people pleaser. I've gotten better because of you. Yes, that is Dave. Okay, so I feel like even both, there's a woman, they're both just like, it's more about power, which I always think is so funny when people take so much like pride in the power that they get from these committee type things in work and everywhere else. I'm like, okay. I always just go, just like, tell me what to do. I don't care, whatever. Let's just like be done with this. I really hate committees. I've said this before. That's why I hated nursing, because they started wanting you to join committees. And then I like travel nursing because I didn't have to join any committees. Like, it's volunteer. This is not, right? So I do feel like you would be an asset to that. It feels like a small board. Like I keep being like, I don't know if it's like literally 3 people or 5 people. Like it feels small. It doesn't feel very large. I also feel like I don't want to say like hoarding cash, but it's this idea of like they have the cash to fix things and they won't, or they don't. It's 5 people. Okay. It's very weird. It's like they want it to be like exclusive. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't know. But yeah, you would do well on it. You might ruffle feathers. And so that might feel weird to you as a former people pleaser, right? Ruffling feathers hard when you're used to like not doing that. I've always been a people pleaser, but also a feather ruffler. More out of like unintentional feather ruffler. I don't know. It's a weird line I live. They're very conservative. Well, it's time to get out the sparkles then and wear them. This might be your time to make people uncomfortable. But it also might be like a really great like experiment for you to see like how you do when you have and advocating for others, you might make some people really uncomfortable. I've always been really good at advocating for other people because I didn't care if I made people uncomfortable if I was advocating for somebody else. Um, Weird how that works, right? Okay. I think Kay is up next. What do you see manifesting in opportunity wise that would be a stable job to help me move on from my current job? I've been working overnights for 2 years and it's starting to make me feel unwell. Shit, yeah, it does. I hated overnights. Like it really, I worked nights at this one hospital as a travel nurse, and they never really gave you a weekend off because like the week that I didn't work weekends, I would always have to work Friday nights. So then I was getting off work at like 7 o'clock in the morning. By the time I got from Brooklyn back up to Manhattan where I was living, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. And one of my friends I remember she worked nights with me too, and we lived in the same building. And we were like, I can really go for some pizza and a beer, but it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and other people would not like. Is there a bar open? Like it was just, um, yeah. So it's hard, and then the weekends that I worked, I wouldn't work Friday night, but I worked Saturday night. So I really like it was just weird. It's a weird existence. I never understood the lifers who do like, I mean, and but that was like their thing, man. Um, I mean, I learned about some really great sleep masks from that. You want to leave, but you were scared. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, like I told my friend. First of all, this is just manifesting techniques and like thought process and mental mindset around it. Is what I told my friend the other weekend when she was like, "I want a new job because like stuff is like not great." And it's funny because she started manifesting a new job just for having changed because before she retires, she wants to have one more position. Um, we're not that old. I just want to say that she's a little bit older than me, but I said, make sure you have this idea of like smooth transition between like that needs to be included in your visualization mindset, whatever. It's like smooth transition from one job to the next. Um, it's interesting because I don't see you going from like a working nights to working days. I see you going from working nights to working evenings. So working like the second shift, like wherever you end up, it's instead of doing 12s, if you do 12s right now, it's like you work eights, like 3 to 11, or maybe like 11A to 9P or something. Like it's a weird, but it's not like 7 a.m. I'm in at work or 9 a.m. It's like a little bit later. Um, that doesn't feel great, but my body feels better. Like it doesn't feel great scheduling wise, right? It feels like it's still kind of weird, but I also feel like my body is starting to feel better and acclimate more. Um, I feel like a lot of inflammation in your body and you've had some weight gain. And I feel like I'm holding on to, like, I'm holding on to a lot of water. I don't think you're a edematous or so much, but yes, weight gain. Yeah. But I feel like it feels like inflammation to me. Ugh, stupid nose. Sorry. It feels like it. Ugh. Does your nose itch a lot or do you have allergy issues? I almost feel like my nose is on fire right now, but it's not, obviously. But do you have like nose issues? I'm just asking because it just started and I'm talking to you about your body. Um, yes, you do. Okay, thank you. Congestion. Okay. I'm like, oh. Um, in the meantime, okay. So I just asked, like, is it the same facility you're at? Are you in medicine or what are you doing? Do you mind me asking? Because I asked if it's the same facility you're at. So like but it feels like it's a sister. Like if I'm in one hospital, it's a sister hospital, or so it's not exactly where you're at right now. You work at the YMCA. So I feel like it might not be that Y, it might be a different Y. Do they have like an off shift that's not like a morning, but it's like kind of more of an evening shift? It doesn't feel very far from where you're at. So it doesn't feel like I'm, driving at 30 miles in a different direction. So it might be another Y. It might not be right. So it's like that's where I would get sister facility for it. I wonder if it's like we could do a drinking game if you guys wanted to drink while I do these readings. Every time I put lip stuff on or do that, you take a shot, take a drink. Sorry. So I notice I do it an inordinate amount of times. Maybe February. It could be sooner than that, but like maybe February is kind of maybe the job starts comes up or makes itself open up. Got issues, yeah. Look at the Baileys. I haven't watched. I really don't normally watch any of my stuff back, but I've been kind of watching it more so because I'm like I should really start putting the predictions in. Whatever. Yeah. I feel like it's water. I don't feel like it's fat. I feel like it's inflammation. So, I do feel like you're a little insulin resistant. So I would say like eat as if you're diabetic and you'll see some of it. But I feel like it's also just the stress of your body not being in its normal, like the way it should be in its normal rhythm, right? You're forcing yourself to stay awake when you should be asleep. So start eating as if you're diabetic, which means like fiber load and eat protein. Just focus on, but like fiber is your main thing you want to focus on because that also feeds your gut. And like, don't start a lot right away if you're not used to eating a lot of fiber. Like, don't go from 5 grams to 30 grams because you can get constipation and gas and uncomfortableness and all of that stuff. But like, fiber, water, and protein. You can still have carbs and stuff, but once you end up eating that fiber as your main, it slows down, and the protein, it'll slow down your digestion rate, which will slow down that instantly. You won't get that insulin spike or that glucose spike, which then like pumps insulin and your body's like not pushing in. If you can't walk after you eat, do calf like raises or pumps or whatever. Like you can just sit there and do, I can't show you, but like I'm just kind of moving my feet up and down, right? So it's like if like this with my calves and whatever. Your calves are great for helping push the glucose in your blood into your helps the insulin open the doorways and push blood into or the glucose into your muscles so they can be used. Um, you need vitamin D. So if you don't supplement with vitamin D, I would recommend that. And C. Take your D with your meals because it's fat soluble. So that's the best way for you to get it into your body and absorb it. I mean, there's other stuff that's off too, like just like minerals and vitamins and stuff. Your iron is getting better, was low in that. Yeah. Yeah, don't do too much fiber at once. I eat this carbonate bread in the morning with my toast, but like, and that's literally a full day's worth of fiber and 2 slices of bread. But I just tend to eat a lot of fiber because I try to have fiber with every meal. But I fiber load at the beginning of the day, as it helps me like long term throughout the day. Um, I don't think it's going to happen with this boss. So I feel like it's going to happen with the job change. That when you move, you'll be okay. So maybe sister facility means you don't work at the Y, but you work at, like, here we have the JCC. That's a similar kind of thing. Like maybe it's something like that. Something similar but different. You're welcome. And I feel like I don't feel like you get hired in February, but I feel like the job becomes available. And it might even be a job that's being created, not one that already exists. Jennifer, you wrote your questions, or you started to. Can you write your questions more definitively instead of? Oh, you know what, Nicole? I didn't get yours in here before Misty's. I also noticed this sounds like when I set stuff down on here, it's so loud, or it sounds like it's so loud and it's not. I don't know. Yay for microphones. Gotta bounce. Okay, see you next Sunday. Have a good one. Enjoy your week. Um, hang on. Jennifer, I saw you wrote also other groups within the company have expressed interest in bringing me in on to when I'm finished with IT projects, so that's promising. I feel like I missed something. Um, I just feel like I ran into the like I stopped in the middle of somebody's conversation and I caught the tail end of it. I don't I can't find the first part of that. Let me see. Okay, you just said, yeah. I think I missed the first part of that. Do you mind adding that in? Thank you. I'm not seeing it. No, I saw this. The part I saw says also other groups with the company have expressed interest in bringing me in/on to, comma, when I'm finished with IT project. So that's promising. But I don't see the other part ahead of that. Nope, I'm not seeing that at all. Can you copy and paste it and try and repost it, or maybe email it to me? Or you can text it to my thing too. I can give you the number. Um, Hang on. Girl Scout note. Mm. I got your thing. I'm giving my friend Brian a hard time, or because sorry, it's like Girl Scout thing. I'm like, I'm super fun to hang out with. Hang on. Okay. All right, Jennifer. Sorry. Sometimes scheduling needs help. Okay. Curious about duration. Any info for my current job contract? It's out of bank doing technical writing. Ugh, God love you. I took a technical writing class in college and I hated it because it has to be so like, it's not fun and fluffy. Okay, I love it. And the people, good for you. I see there's people who are good at this. It's through year end, but need to be extended into next year for sure. Also, other groups within the company have expressed interest in bringing me in on it too when I'm finished with IT projects. So that's promising. Anything about attracting? Okay. So I know it's not always super easy. It's not. You would think that like I think and now that after I took that class and like I look at directions, I'm always like, these suck. But I'm also like, but sometimes they're really hard to write. It is challenging for sure. For sure. And my professor did not like me. He said we didn't have to come to class. So I didn't. He didn't like me. I mean, listen, if you're going to tell me I have permission to do something, I'm going to take it. I still passed. I hated that class so much. Okay. Okay. I mean, he did say you don't have to come to class. Like, why would you tell home college kids they don't have to come to class? Come on. Okay. Uh, okay. I feel like I don't. I'm trying to squeeze out information. So I feel like you're going to get, there's an extension, right? To maybe March. There's something about 6 months. So I feel like you're going to stay on there in some other capacity because I feel like celebratory, excited, really liking the people I'm working with. Like it's such a good vibe. But I can't tell if there's like a gap in between you finishing this and then starting with this other thing. And so you have like some time away. It feels like that. Um, but I can't 100%. I don't, I'm not 100% on that. Sorry. Let me just, what's that? Okay. I haven't figured out my new phone yet. I can't fully put that in there as like, there's not a gap, but I feel like, I don't know. It feels good. That's the best I can say. It feels good. It feels positive and promising that you stay there. But there may be a gap in between the two positions, and I don't understand that one. Like why you would there. I'm not getting a reason of like why there would be a gap. Maybe you take a gap so you have some time off first before starting the new position. But it feels really good and celebratory. Okay, any info about attracting a wonderful long-term relationship and life partner? I'm not drawn to dating apps or bars yet. I do say yes to all invitations and go out and maintain positivity. Um, it's not always about being positive because you can manifest shit and be negative too. So I'm gonna just say that, like, because everybody's like, "Oh, I gotta be positive all the time." No, you don't. You can even add into that like belief system that even when I crash out, it makes something happen even like faster, better, stronger, whatever. 3D doesn't matter. Like whatever you're seeing doesn't have to be like right. It's like circumstances don't matter. Even if it looks impossible, things are possible. I mean, so many things have been created in the world that are like, oh my God, that's impossible. You could never. And it's like, well, just did it. So I don't know what to tell you. um, Even when I tend to see things in my 3D where I'm like, oh my God, and I start panicking, and then I'm like, nope, we're gonna bring this one back down. Like, and even that freak out didn't even matter. It's part of the bridge of incidents to get me there. You can give everything. Everything is neutral until you give it meaning. So, like, I will find myself. Like this morning, I was listening to some Neville Goddard stuff, even though I think it's like AI Neville Goddard, because I'm like, he just said text, and there was no text back then. But but it's the sentiment, and basically what he was saying. I love your style. Always learn listening. C's get degrees, like for real. I'm gonna tell you what, like when you because once you're out, nobody's like, what was your grade point average? Like, unless you're going back to get a higher degree, like no one's asking, no one cares. Like, it doesn't matter. um I, I don't know, is that lazy? Probably, but like in nursing, you learn a hell of a lot more on the job than you've ever learned in a book. And I don't know. Um, I have to tell you, I didn't use the Krebs cycle at all when I was a nurse, at all, ever, even though they like pounded into you the Krebs cycle. I never once did I come across a patient and be like, well, this is how ATP, like ever. So I don't know. God, and they pound the Krebs cycle into you. Okay. You don't think it's lazy? I mean, I work hard. My coworkers would be like, God, you're a workhorse. Like I just work. When I work, I'm like, I'll work, right? So what was I saying? Oh, love. Okay, so manifesting. Go do the shit that you like to do, right? Find a hobby that you really like that's just for joy. That's not like there's no purpose other than you enjoy it and you meet people through that. You're not going to meet at a bar. You're not going to meet it's like feels like finding the things that bring you joy and they're there. Like so there's not a lot of dudes ice skating, right? So like if I were to go out and meet someone, it's not going to be ice skating because like the only guys that are, yeah, they're not. And that's okay. But I feel like whatever your hobbies are, it's pretty gender neutral, right? So it's not very shopping or eating. Well, go take a cooking class. Go do a food tour, like where where they take you on like a little different restaurants to go try food. I don't know where you're at, but like I know New York City has them. Um, Go do stuff that interests you and you find people that you have things in common with. Um, You could get behind that, right? Yeah. Um, Also, there's a lot of men in the chefing world. It is extremely male dominated. So just saying. Also, this idea of like, I feel like you need to really get into this idea of like talking to yourself in the mirror, and your body doesn't have to be perfect to be attractive, to be like magnetic. Your personality doesn't have to be perfect to be magnetic. Your looks don't have to be perfect to be magnetic. Hi, Debbie. Um, Take notes. Do it, all of you. Um, I don't care what your old stories are about what relationships were, what you went through, or how people treated you. Decide now that you're going to be treated differently. You don't have to be a size 4 to be attractive. There are so many men who want a woman with a body. There's so many men out there who talk about like hip dips, how attractive they are, and like, just like a woman's body. So this idea that you are only magnetic or whatever if you look a certain way or if you act a certain way or whatever is absurd. There's lots of men who want a full figured woman. There's lots of men who like a butt and hips and thighs and like all of that, right? Um, the things that make you not magnetic are not the things that capitalism teaches you is magnetic or attractive. Confidence is extremely attractive. That's why your self-concept matters. And I'm talking about like at the core, your confidence is not arrogance. Like it's just, I got this. Like I'm good. And you don't need somebody outside of you to tell you that you're enough. And while you have that, it doesn't mean that you don't enjoy the flirtation or um, the attention, the compliments, the interaction, right? It just makes it that much better. You're discussing this with your perimenopausal body. Okay, so start eating as if you're insulin resistant, because your insulin, it does change, and it changes. You start to have insulin resistance, I believe, before your lab values will ever show that you're having it. Your body will start telling you that. I came across something when I was watching my other videos. I'm like, oh yeah, that's really important too. So like, if you start to become more spiritual, you'll hear people talk about ascension symptoms, like I'm having ear ringing. Well, that's also a sign of insulin resistance. And a lot of people start ascending or finding their stuff when they're, you can start going into perimenopause as early as 30. And you see a lot of women kind of doing these things. I don't often hear men talking about ascension symptoms like ever. And so when I look at those, they're very closely related to like hormonal changes that we have in our body. Why do you start to notice it when you become more spiritual? Because you start listening to your body more. You start like going within, you start becoming quiet, you start hearing yourself more. You're listening for your own voice now. And so you start to hear your body more. So Creative Chick Studio, you said every time I read a man's profile and I think these men don't get women. So I only attract men who understand women. Men who show up in my life are men who are feminists and understand and get women, or are maybe they don't fully get it, but they're open to learning and listening. You totally noted these comments regarding fiber and protein. Yes, thank you. 52, just craving now companionship and partnership. It's been a second. Yeah. So it's like, I attract somebody who's like wants a partner, who likes having fun together, who's a friend and a lover, like whatever. It doesn't have to be I think what you're looking for in a relationship when you're older versus when you're younger are vastly different, right? It's more about connection than it is about like filling this idea of how you fit in society, right? Having the family or whatever, because you're not looking to have kids, right? You're really just looking for a deeper connection, the right kind of guy. So decide what's the right kind of guy, right? And then also, as you're working on that, and really have your drink if you're drinking. Sorry. Um, if you're manifesting and you do it through the law of assumption, just decide, and it is. Whatever you decide is true is true. And everything bends around that. And even if you can't see it happening, it's happening, right? Even if I can't see my 3D, I know that it's happening under, like, there's one example of like when you plant a seed, you don't dig it back up to see if it's growing. You just trust that it's happening. And there's a lot happening under the soil before you ever see anything come to fruition. So true. I'm excited to manifest this. I know all is always okay. Fuck divine timing. It all just happens. I try not to say divine timing because I think when you use certain phrases, it makes your brain think that like, well, I can't have it right now. It was spot on about getting older and listening to your body. Yeah. But I think it's also like when people start to like find their spiritual connection. So you hear people, it's like your body just starts to speak to you and you listen to it more. I don't think they're assumption sometimes at all. I think that's one way of somebody describing it instead of actually listening to themselves. Make a list of everything and make it pie in the sky. Like I started manifesting the way Sally Owens manifested it. And do you guys watch? Have you ever seen Practical Magic? That's like my one. I can watch that movie over and over. There's several movies I have like that, but that's one that I could just watch over and over. Like it's like background relaxing. But she like manifested, like she made an impossible list for a man because it was like, well, this will never happen. So I don't have to worry about falling in love and having this curse of these negative things happening. And you can do that with anything. I mean, y'all, I could talk about manifesting a lot just because I think it's really interesting to watch when you decide to dig in and say like, no, this is how it is. This is what I want. This is where it's going. Like imagine yourself before you go to sleep at night, imagine yourself with that partnership and that connection. And love doesn't have to be hard. Does spirit show timing a clue? Yes and no. So sometimes I get timing, but I even say sometimes my timing is off. Like I can tell you that I've had dreams about things that are going to happen and I never know the timing around it. And I don't understand that. And even with manifesting, it's so weird. Like there's some stuff like literally I can manifest in a day, it's done. And I don't even, I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be cool if, and then it's like happens. But also remember that you're like, I need it right now. This is who it is. If you aren't doing a very specific person, you're just generally open to anybody, then it can happen quicker. I think sometimes I think when it's a specific person or somebody's like, I want a baby right now. It's like, okay, but also remember that in that sense, sometimes the timing has to be right for both of you. You're a huge believer in manifesting. Just make sure you're not manifesting what you don't want. You can manifest what you don't want, and then you can just go, oh, like I just changed my mind. I don't really want that. Like, I don't know. I think you should be smart about it. So the idea of like, I want a new job, I think there's little caveats you need to put in there because otherwise then you can get fired. And sometimes bad things happen along the way in order to push you to that thing that you want, right? I mean, if I want certain things, then like certain things have to exit out of your life. If I want, I mean, I'm having certain changes in my life right now because I want specific things in my life and they're not great on the surface. You look at them and it's like, that's not really fun to go through. And I know on the other side of that is better. So just remember that too. Like you have to remove clutter from your house if you want to bring in a new big piece of furniture. You can't just keep everything because it would just doesn't work. So I don't know, is that bad? Or is it just part of the process? Again, you give it whatever meaning you want. All right. So those are the things I think, like find, like really, really, really dig into self-concept. So it's not that you can't be lovable as you are right now, not having all of those. It's part of the journey for sure. So I think you like people will fall in love with you whatever stage you're at, but the quality that you're willing to accept is much different when you care more about yourself. I've said this before too. Like I would never manifest back. Like if I would never manifest back in like an old relationship for them to be better. One, because I just think it's more work to like reprogram your brain around that. But two, already been there, done that. Like, don't need that. Okay, Nicole, you're up, and Misty. Sorry. And then we can do some oracle card readings. And then I got to go help a kid with homework because we have a Girl Scout thing this afternoon. They're like, you think it's still going on with the rain? I'm like, pretty sure. It should stop by then. You gave me something on a new job and a new job before, but I don't know where to start looking or how. Do you get anything more specific for me? Do you have a respiratory thing right now? Like, are you sick? um, hang on. I don't know if this is a thing still because I have no idea. Oh, it is. Okay. It feels like looking like there's a couple things that I feel like one is like doing an online search, but I also feel like doing even something like it's probably something you're gonna hate doing, but cold calling, where you call different spas and things and just say like, do you have a like, or look online and see if they have a job opportunities board, because some of them will have that online, and even finding a headhunter, a recruiter, going to a recruiting agency and just say, this is what I'm looking for. That's probably your easiest. But I also even feel like maybe even like looking at spas in your area and just seeing if they have a job opportunities board. Debbie, I'm Annalisa, and I am in New Jersey, but I'm originally from Texas. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to wiggle y'all. Misty, what's your question? Are you still here? It's still not clear what to look for. Is it bookkeeping based? Yes, I feel like it's bookkeeping based. Mm-hmm. Like it's still within your skill set. It's not totally off of that. But also look for anything. Like look for a front desk thing because maybe it ends up parlaying into that. But I feel like ultimately it is within your skill set of bookkeeping. I also think that keeps your salary a little bit higher too. You mentioned rain. You're in Houston, and it's been raining off and on. Oh, I feel like it always rains in Houston. My mom's in Houston. I used to work at Texas Children's. I used to be there. I grew up out in the Klein area, and then I moved away for high school and college. And then when I moved back to Texas, I moved to Austin with my sister for a couple of years, and then realized the wages are much higher in Houston because of the medical center. So I moved back to Houston, and then I lived more near the Galleria when I lived there. And then just north of the Heights, like on the outside of the loop for a little bit too. Snow in New Hampshire. Woo. That's fun. Yeah, I actually do like the snow. I like it when it's still early and I go out and shovel. Um, and it's like really crisp to walk on and everything is just so quiet. That's honestly one of my favorite things to do. You live 15 minutes from the Galleria. Where I'm like, where'd you live? Where do you live? Just kidding. My mom is still kind of in that area. She lives there. She teaches piano to lots of different people. Rainy and cold in upstate South Carolina. Oh, Southwest Westbury. I don't know what that is. But 15 minutes is not bad because it's Houston, and everywhere it's like people are like, how long does it take to get here? Hour. It's an hour. Every direction, it's an hour. It doesn't matter. You're in the car for an hour. All right. Help me understand my feeling of not fitting in at my good job. Am I in the wrong place, or am I making an issue of nothing? I do know where Bel Air is. In fact, I lived, what's that mall? Wait, I gotta tell you, because I went to school with a lot of people who lived in Bel Air. I was supposed to go to Bel Air High School had I stayed in Houston. And I even made the drill team and everything, which is really fucking funny because I am so not a dancer. But I auditioned. This is like, that's so hilarious. I was supposed to be a Bel Air Belle. But if you know me and you know my feet, you'd be like, what? Okay. Now I'm trying to see. I lived right around the corner from there's a mall. Hang on. It was an outdoor mall. I don't even know if it's still there. But there was a movie theater we lived right around the corner from. So my stepbrother and I would walk like every day one summer, the summer before 8th grade. We would walk there and watch a movie. We saw so many movies that summer because we'd be like, we had nothing else to do. I was like, well, let's just go to the movies. Meyerland. Yeah. We lived in Meyerland off of Grape Street. The house that we lived in is no longer there. It got torn down and a bigger house got put up. It used to be Johnston Middle School for 8th grade. It's now something else. They renamed it because Johnston was like a Confederate person, apparently. Okay. So I'm not doing paid readings anymore. That list is closed. But if you want to stay for a free Oracle card reading, I'm just going to finish up with Misty here and we'll do Oracle card readings. Sound good? Small world. You found me. Yeah, that's where I went to. And I got one day they didn't let us out early enough and the bayou flooded. And so I ended up going home with this guy and his friend to his grandma's house, and we had matzo ball soup. And then we all left there. Oh no, we didn't go to his grandma's house at first. First, we went to some other lady's house that none of us knew. And I didn't even really know this guy that well, but it was sort of like the parents, like whatever, the adults figured it out. I don't know. And then we ended up wading through. We got on a raft and went across like some flooded streets. The stupid shit, I would kill my children if they did. Because like in Houston flooding, there's like water moccasins and fire ant piles. And then floated to his grandma's house, and she made us matzo ball soup. And eventually I got home that night. All right, Anna, you can get a paid reading. Hurry up. And then if whoever I just said, I'm not doing paid readings. If you want to, Erica, if you want a paid reading, you can do a paid reading. I give 30% to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. I'll do that. So Misty, I'm going to say this. I don't feel like, don't shoot the messenger. Okay. I feel like some of it is a manifesting mindset type thing around never really feeling like you're fitting in. Always it's some of it comes from not being seen, heard, or validated when you're little, and not being valued when you're little, and sort of always feeling like you're the problem, or you need to, if I could just do this or that, then those people would be happy. And so then when you walk into a lot of situations, you feel like, unless you're like unless somebody really gregariously opens their arms to you and brings you in, you feel like it's a problem. Wherever you go, wherever you work, it's never going to be perfect. It just isn't, it never is, because humans are humaning. But I feel like if you sort of just decide, and it's hard because the 3D is going to show you something different for just a little bit, but just decide like, I fit in, this is great, we get along, everything works out well, we have a good working relationship. You don't even have to go to like, we're best friends, we all hang out, because that's weird. I always think like, don't shit where you eat. That's just me. I was never really like, there was very few people that I hung out with outside of work, or that I maintained any kind of relationship outside of work, and it was nothing personal. I think also just the setting of where I was at too. It's like a hospital, that there's just too many political things. I was always polite and nice and like, warm, but I wasn't ever expecting anything. And maybe if I understood about mindset and kind of my own energy, I would have done better. But because there was always a lot of like not fitting in feeling for me. I feel like if you just sort of own this energy, like walking in there and be like, I'm magnetic, people love being around me, they're excited to see me, and just like imagine this energy coming out of you like a light pushing out of you, and yet it's still very protective, it will help you. Anna, I got your payment. That's my feeling, because I feel like that's kind of more of an internal thing rather than a this place sucks thing. And you're in leadership role and I'm depleted. So whatever you say is true. So it's sort of this idea of like, sometimes it's hard to go from I'm depleted to like, I'm totally like thriving and doing well, but it's like, I'm okay. I did okay today. Like if you can get to the okay place, then you can manifest bigger after that. But you got to get to the okay. Sometimes you have to baby step your way through it. So there was a point where I was so tired all the time. Like I could not keep my eyes open. I didn't realize it was a blood sugar thing, and it like COVID fucked my body royally. But back up and running. But I couldn't go from like waking up out of bed and be like, I'm so exhausted every day, to, oh my God, I'm thriving, I'm doing great. Like I couldn't make, that was too big of a leap for my brain. So I just went like, I'm ready for the day. So instead of saying like, I'm depleted, I'm ready to tackle the job for today. And then when you walk out, just be like, instead of being like, oh my God, so much stuff happened, it's like any perception you have over something, and be like, oh, I'm so glad that I got through the day okay. Rather than piling on all the things that went wrong. It's like, I know it sounds like sunshine and rainbows, but it's sort of the idea of like looking for what goes well. That's where you're out. I've been in a mid place since COVID, and I want more than that. So not out. I'm confused. That's where I'm trying to like replace that. Oh, that's where I'm at. Sorry. Okay, got it. So I mean, that's that's what I'm picking up on, is that it's not like impossible to fix it or turn it around. But it can also be like one of those ideas of like, no, it's not. It's the idea of like, this is like an internal thing you've got to sort of work on just a little bit. Um, and then what I feel like happens actually is, as you do that and work on it, this other job pops up, and then you make the transition into a new job. And I don't know if it's a new job at the same place, a new role at the same place, or a totally new facility, company. I had a client a long time ago, and she came to me for a while. Um, and she sort of was like, I'm going to move out to LA and everything's going to be better. And I was like, and I kind of was like, it's not though. Like, you're still going to be dealing with the same stuff. And she didn't believe me. And then that's what happened. She was still dealing with the same stuff because she wasn't fixing the internal dialogue. You're not getting the stimulation and encouragement you need. So then you have to change. So this is what I would do if I were you, because the way I'm reading it is like, how do we change that, right? So it's like, go down and write all the things you feel like you're not getting at, things that are going wrong, and then rewrite it. And you're going to feel like you're crazy. Just saying. You're going to feel like I'm duping myself. Like, right. So it's like, I'm so glad I'm being challenged at work. I'm so glad I'm being validated at work. I'm so glad that this person has like, and things will happen to bring you into alignment with that. It doesn't mean they're always smooth, but it means maybe a conversation randomly comes up where you're just shooting the shit with somebody and you're like, oh yeah, I really like when I get, compliments, or I really like da. And that person goes, oh, ping, 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 mental note. Like, let's give her some positive feedback. Or you have a review and you're like, or you're reviewing somebody else and you're like, hey, it will all end up organically happening. It's very interesting. I don't know how it works the way it works, but it does work. But when I'm reading your stuff, and it's not to be like, be toxically positive, but it's like, reframe it and tell it a different way, tell the story a different way. Because it's easy to say like, nobody ever does this and have that story. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. It's just that your brain searches for the things that hold that to be true. I'm historically a runner who wants a new start when things feel this way, so I'm trying to do better. Okay. Figure out why you're a runner. That was even helpful for you. I always think that questions will come up and people interactions come up because they're helpful for more than one person on these sort of forums. So I want to say that because I think sometimes there's cross information there. It's easy to give up and run. This is like the idea of like where she's like, if I move across the country, everything's going to be better. But it's not, because if it's an internal thing, if everything that we do, right? If our beliefs create our reality, it doesn't matter where you are. The universe will pop those people in to fulfill that belief system, pop those experiences in to fulfill that belief system, to make it true. You've written a story about yourself, about how people show up, about how work is. Find ways to accommodate. If the fluorescent lights suck, is there a way for you to turn those off and throw some lamps on? Is there a way for you to, like, I don't know. I mean, I know they're super ugly, but because I bought some once and I was like, I can't. These are so hideous. But like, transition glasses or sunglasses, or to put a filter over the light, request a filter over the lights over your desk. that if you can't turn the lights off around you, and to put some lamps in, a different filter that covers those lights. So that way it's less jarring. You said something similar earlier at the moment, and I sent my payment in. Yeah. So it's this idea of like, how can I shift that perspective and then just hold true to it until it shows up in the reality? So there's something I'm working on right now, several things I'm working on right now. And sometimes the 3D does not reveal those beliefs to be true. And I just keep telling myself, well, that's part of the bridge of incidents. So it doesn't matter. And I know that sounds dumb, but it's like I can spiral and go, oh no, it's not going to happen. Or I can hold to the fact that like, A, I've had a lot of things coming into fruition that should never have, based on whatever my reality was. And B, I have enough other people that I trust what they're talking about, who have had those things show up because they decided to persist in that belief system. Especially when it's something that's harder. Nothing's really hard. Anything can show up, but it's like more of this idea of like, if you can just relax about it, sometimes things come in quicker. And so like certain behaviors where people are like, well, like, why aren't you getting all up in arms about it? I'm like, because I know it's shifting and it's fine. I'm done. Like, it's done. It's all going to work out. It's just fine. And then I just wait for it. Like, what was there? Oh, I lost ice skating. So I buy these ice skating passes that are like 12 for the price of 10. So just like to lessen the price, because we're at the rink a lot. I'm at the rink a lot. And I like couldn't find them, and I could have easily been like, they were still in. I was like, whatever, I probably just placed them somewhere. Like, they're going to show up. They'll show up. It's fine. I found them yesterday. And I'm like, I swear to God, I looked in my wallet a million times and they weren't there. My daughter's glasses, she lost them at school. I just ordered her another pair. They're like $700 glasses because she has special, like these prism lenses. And I'm like, it's fine, because I know those are going to show up. Like, I'm not even, and then she'll have 2 pairs. So it's fine. But I can't not have her have glasses right now because she's like miserable. She's got a headache. She can't read. She can't focus. You could stand a little relaxed. Yeah. So it's sort of like this idea of like, I don't know. I mean, you can sit and choose to believe the old story, or you can just decide that it's not happening that way and it's fine. It's all working out. The other thing is like, I do bug my guides a little bit, but I also know that they answer me in my dreams. And I also know that, so like there's one thing that I asked about, and I woke up and I saw that thing. The last thing before I woke up was a vision of that, like a dream of that. And I heard very clearly, it's inevitable. So I'm just like holding true to that. It's inevitable. And I don't tell a lot of people about my manifestations that I really want, especially if they're a little unorthodox or seemingly impossible, because I don't want to hear about what people's beliefs are on it. I don't really care. I don't care what your thoughts are. I don't care how impossible you think something is. I don't care if you want to throw a moral compass on me of like, that's, I mean, not that I'm like way out there, but I'm just saying, like, some people think that like manifesting certain things are, but manifesting is not about you. Like, it is the idea of you bringing it in, but it's really about you shifting into different realities where that thing already exists. So I believe there are things that are going to happen regardless, like death. And a lot of those exits, I feel like we plan before we enter this experience. But that story will hold true over multiple planes of existence, or not parallel, because that's different. Planes of existence. I don't know. I don't even know how to say that. Over multiple experiences of this same lifetime, because there's infinite, right? Or of this corporeal experience. And those will hold true. I also think there's really deep-seated personality and character traits that we hold true over every corporeal experience. And they just show up maybe a little bit different. So I think I've been an oracle healer type in almost every experience. They just show up a little differently each time. So you're not, think of it as like, I'm not like trying to create something. It's like this already exists and I'm changing lanes, right? Because the view, like if you go up, like in Houston, they have like 10 lane highways now across, I think I-10 is like 10 across now or something insane. But your view is going to be a little bit different from each lane, right? That, think of it as just doing that, shifting lanes or taking an exit earlier versus later. You can still get to that destination that's later, but maybe you want to have a little more scenic route. Okay, Anna, what's your question? I think the more that I've seen how much manifesting works, the more I'm able to relax about things. I don't spiral out anymore. It doesn't mean I don't have moments where like, oh my God. And then I just stop myself. I'm like, no, not so much. Um, you were here last week with a question about someone I started seeing, Sean. Everything was normal until Thursday. He's completely ghosted me out of nowhere. Just ignore it. Don't worry about it. So then I got a very blunt text from him yesterday morning, ending things with no explanation. Just ignore it. Just go, okay. Just ignore it. I know this is stupid. Okay. I think I said he has attachment issues last week. Did I not? Um, I don't remember, honestly. Number one, I believe something may have happened to him on Thursday or maybe in his life. None of it makes sense. It's completely out of nowhere. Do you have any message or guidance for me? Okay. This out, huh? So here's the thing. Number one, I feel like just ignore it, just act like no big deal and keep doing your thing. I do feel like he'll come back in. I feel like he has attachment issues. He gets freaked out when he starts to really like somebody and he ghosts a little bit. Just relax about it and do your own thing. The last thing you need to do is start texting him a million times. Be like, I don't understand. Like, just be like, cool. That's cool. No worries. Because on the off chance that he's not coming back, why crash out over somebody who's mid? Not that he's necessarily mid, but like somebody who does that is mid behavior for sure. And also, like, I guess dating in New York really taught me that there's a new bus every 5 minutes. Like, there's so many people out there, but I feel like he's just crashing out a little bit over really ever liking you, and it makes him a little nervous. I watched so many when I was friends with. I don't have a lot of these guy friends anymore. Not like just life and the way things happen. I'm sure I could call them up and be like, well, probably not. Their wives might not like if I was like, want to hang out out of nowhere. One of them might, because I've known him. I mean, yeah, whatever. Anyway, one because I've known him since I was a kid. But, you know, I watched them just do stupid shit like that, and most of it was out of their own attachment issues, rather than like the girl was really a problem. Hang on, I just need to tell somebody not to stay to hang out if they're sick because I don't want their germs. I'm very big on people not sharing their germs with me, so I'm like, don't hang out if you're sick. I don't care. Like, go away. But don't get me sick. So I'm not getting, I literally, the feeling I'm getting is, so there's this woman on TikTok who talks about attraction and signs of attraction and things like that. And then she's like, there is a scientifically proven thing that men sort of like back off when they're really, and it's almost their nervous system resetting. So just chill the fuck out for a little bit and let it all play out. Because I told you last week, I thought, I think go back and watch what I told you last week. Cause I don't remember it being like, I think I told you where you would struggle a little bit and it might've been attachment stuff, but just relax a little bit. It'll be fine. Okay. Oracle card readings. Ready? Who wants one? Say, I'm going to list them really quick. So let's do the animal one. I always offer that. Past life. I think I don't know if I offer this, magic and mediums. I don't know if that's a good one or not. So if it ends up, you pick that one and I pick it for you and it's like a weird thing, we'll pick from a different deck. Voice of the souls. I do like this one. Trust your vibes. Wisdom oracle. I'll try not to slam these around. Inner child. Oh no. Shit. That opens like that. Darn it all. Does everything fall out? No. Excellent. The crystal one. Let's go with those. Oh, you could do the green witch too. And the enchanted map. Oh, we'll do all of them. Fuck it. Not all of them, but some of them. Okay. Women in myth, enchanted map. Okay. No, don't you make me pick. Absolutely not. I do not pick for people. If this is free, you use your intuition, not me. The only intuition I use is deciding or like them telling me how many times to shuffle. We're going to make it lazy for me. Got it? I did bring a set of reading glasses, which future love. I don't have future love. Pick from one of my decks. I don't have future love. Maybe I'll find a deck that works with that. Someone else asked about love reading. So I'll try and find a love oracle deck, but I don't have one right now. Oof. So bright, that reflection. Voice of a soul. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. I'm like, I don't have that one. I do. In fact, yes. Okay. Say them again. All right. I have the crystal one, inner child, wisdom of the oracle, women in myth, enchanted map, green witch, voice of the souls, trust your vibes, past life, spirit animal, that's right, and magic and mediums. Oh, I have this archetypes one too. Okay, so all right. Hi, Violets for Roses. How are you? So Misty's up first. I always do a first come, first serve thing. So the quicker you put yours down, the quicker you're in the line for it. So Misty wants past lives. Anna wants, I said he was like a rescue dog. So rescue dogs get a little skittish, right? Okay, I'm just making my list. Hold on. Nicole, what oracle deck did you want? Anybody can have an oracle card reading. Just pick a deck. Debbie is inner child. We'll pick Debbie, inner child or past lives. Nicole is magic. Been quietly listening in the back, first time catching you. Oh, Denise, welcome. Do you want an oracle card reading? You're also welcome. This is a very lovely group of mostly women. Sometimes some men show up. Sometimes there's a guy in Sweden who shows up, and then there's a guy. I'm trying to think of his. I can't think of his screen name, but I know his first name. Sometimes men show up, but it's mostly women. Okay, Denise wants inner child. Nicole, what do you want? Oh, wait, I got yours. Debbie, which one did you want? You put 2 down. Pick one. You can think about it, and maybe someone else will have one, and then you'll decide you don't want that one. Okay? So Denise wants inner child. All right. Misty is past lives. Oh, I'm glad you like it. All right, so Misty, what card does she need for this week? That would be helpful to her on her journey. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm going to give you 2. Because I felt called to pull this one to like flip it over because it was on top before I cut it, and this one. So I don't know why it happens that way. Don't shoot the messenger. So forgiveness says the situation you're inquiring about will be healed or improved through your willingness to release old stored anger. You may not even be consciously aware that you've been holding on to resentment. Your anger may show up in subtle ways, such as high blood pressure, addictions, insomnia, or moodiness. Wouldn't it feel great to have stable moods and more control over your health? Forgiveness isn't the same as saying that actions of others were justified or acceptable. Instead, forgiveness is a statement of self-empowerment. You choose to detoxify yourself of all stored anger and other negative energies. After all, when you hang on to anger, it only hurts you and not the other person. To heal this situation, be aware that meditation and introspection are important practices that can help you. See that your anger is merely a transition feeling, like a dark cloud floating across the sky. Recognize that the source comes from a past life and let it go. Forgiveness is cathartic and profoundly healing. Free yourself from negative and harmful emotions. And then the other one is high priest or priestess. You probably already know that you were a high priest or high priestess during one or more prior lifetimes. Most people who have, who have held these roles have a conscious sense of it. You've also retained your heightened spiritual knowledge, which this card is urging you to put into greater practice. It's time for you to reignite your spiritual power and use it in service of your divine mission of healing, teaching, and helping the world. This card urges you to release any insecurities you may have about your spiritual abilities or any fears about others knowing your beliefs. Okay, Starry Sky, you're up next. Voice of Souls, where is that one? I'll find it. I showed it to you, so it has to show up, right? Oh, here it is. Anna wants trust your vibes. Denise, did you show me which one you wanted? Inner child. Okay. Debbie, which one did you want? You're waiting. You didn't decide yet? Anna, hang on, let me add yours. Okay, Voice of the Souls. This one is for Starry Sky. Starry Sky need to go through her week. duality, 11. 11 is a master number too, if that helps. Okay, your soul. You no longer know who you are or what you want to do. Sometimes you may make a decision in the morning, then focus on another in the evening, letting your mind take over. You can no longer hear me or only hear me faintly. Yet I send you many signs, especially inviting you to inner calm. The time has come to take a break. You need to rest and understand your ideas and thoughts. The duality you feel keeps you from inner calm, preventing you from sorry, preventing you from having faith in yourself. This duality is not a coincidence. It is your relationship with me and your own mind. Meditate, breathe, rest. Take these moments. Taking these moments will be so important to help you hear me and help you trust in the choices you will make. The choices you make in the next 6 months will be important, and only you can make them. So trust in us. Your spirit guides. You may have difficulty understanding your outer situation. There are many unexpected events, and somehow you are always hesitant. You wait for an external sign to make decisions for you because you aren't confident in yourself or don't take the first step. This creates inner and outer duality. Understand that outer duality is a reflection of your inner duality. You are sending your you We are sending you signs through your emotions and feelings so you may understand that everything comes from you. Don't look outwards, look inwards. You are able to assert yourself, connect to your sacral chakra to trust in your feelings and emotions. The entity. My life was made of duality, and I always hesitated between two situations, two relationships, and two paths. I didn't dare to make my own choices, and I didn't really trust in my emotions. This sometimes created considerable duality within myself and also with others. I couldn't channel my emotions, so I was caught in a kind of struggle. This struggle may have been reflected in my outer life. It may have created something in like inner fire. Today, I am free from this duality and I am in an energy of serenity. I now understand that it's through connecting to my emotions that I'm my own guide and we make our own choices. Others can't make them for us. So understand this dimension of duality. Show forgiveness and open yourself up to the beautiful person you are. I mean, I think that's reinforcing some stuff. Anna, yes, you can change the voice of souls. Okay. Violet wants animal oracle card. Which card would be most beneficial for Violet this week? Brown bear spirit. It's number 9. 9 is about endings, completing a cycle. It says take time out. There is a time to act and a time to focus your attention on patient strategizing. The arrival of brown bear spirit signals that you are best served by foregoing hard work to get toward your goals at this moment and instead taking the time out to meditate or just take a nap so you can refresh yourself and begin planning what you want to co-create next. Come to know the lay of the land as you contemplate and imagine what you might do in the vast space of possibility before you and begin forming a plan. Forming, not firming. Remember, sleep allows for dreaming and rest allows for clear-headed strategizing. How might you become the person you wish to be and experience whatever your heart desires? Insights will arise as you explore the possibilities and begin envisioning your plan. Knowing what you want will ensure you use your energy wisely in the days ahead. Be patient at this time. Relax and be calm and peaceful so you can recharge. The call for action will come later. Okay. There was a black bear in your yard last night. That's amazing. Where do you live? A mini hibernation, if you will. Sure. Just sort of this idea of like, yeah, find it and that you find the answers in the calm. CB wants trust your vibes. Oh, in New Hampshire. That's amazing. I learned in high school, my senior year, I took outdoor ed for my gym class because we got to do ice fishing, and we had a nature center in the back of our school. So we did ice fishing and cross country skiing. And I thought it was funny with the ice fishing because like even the guys were like, "Ooh, I don't want to touch the fish," because we used bait. And my grandma taught me how to fish like off on the Gulf Coast, and we used shrimp. So I was like, "We'll just take it, like whatever." They seemed scared about it. But we did how to camp in black bear country. Never done it. All right, so this is for CB. What does CB need for this week? New beginnings, 42. It is time to leave the old life behind and focus on implementing new ideas and new connections into your life. Don't overthink or ask the wrong people for their opinions. This will only create roadblocks on your path. Those who genuinely love and support you will naturally cheer on your growth and change. If you are open to new opportunities, the universe will meet you halfway and bring them to you in unexpected ways. Do not cling to outworn ideas or old versions of yourself. You are no longer the person you used to be. The doors to a brand new future are wide open and inviting you in. Trust the opportunity, trust this opportunity, and venture forward confidently. You will evolve beyond your wildest expectation. Fishing is relaxing. I really do enjoy it. I did go like once I went deep sea fishing with my cousin's ex-husband, who's now passed. He actually called me 3 weeks before. He said, "It's like I'm going to die from this," and I heard like he's not coming back, but I lied and I was like, "It's going to be the fight of your life," because I'd never had to give a reading like that before. And then I like connected with his soul while he was in a coma and was sharing that with his daughter, who's just absolutely a gem. Anyway, that was a very interesting experience. But I went deep sea fishing with him, and I was sick as a dog and throwing up and still fishing. And these guys were such assholes. They were like smoking cigars at the very beginning and like blowing them in my face. And I was like, I don't know, whatever. They were good old boys. I don't think it's time for them. It resonates deeply. You have a new connection. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. But I do like fishing. I just like being outside, really. Voice of your souls. This is for creative. I don't know your whole screen name. I just wrote part of it. I hope you're still here. So what does creative need for today? Happiness, 6. Looks like a fox or a coyote. Okay, happiness is within your reach. Its creation begins inside you. Even if your outer environment seems complicated, don't worry. Happiness is there. I already feel it. I send you much love so you can see it, then carry it into your outer life. You have worked on yourself and are now aware of how to create this inner happiness. If this is not yet the case, know that you will soon share it with people you love. You are a wonderful person, and I am proud of you because you have the daring to tell it to yourself. Sometimes you say it timidly, but still you manage to express it. before you didn't feel you could. Keep building your own happiness. You are on a beneficial path. Your spirit guides. Everything is already happening. You are in a forward moving energy. If you can't see synchronicities yet, know that they'll come quickly. We are sending you signs in the form of outer events. Let yourself be guided. Keep nourishing what is most beautiful in you. Don't try to control things. All you have to do is experience the present moment and be spontaneous. Soon your inner happiness will be carried into your outer life. You will create everything that matters to you. Your wants are in line with your needs, and you are connected to yourself. Everything is falling into place. Everything is beautiful. You can already embrace the fruit of your efforts and bring your projects to life. The entity, I am happy now. Even if things weren't easy for me, I was happy then. I always had that childlike fire letting me experience things intensely. Yet I have been more clumsy, but I always found moments of happiness even in hard times. I am sending you signs to help you create your own happiness and understand it within you. It's within your reach. Be proud of yourself. You already have everything within you. You have managed to do many things that I could not do. Keep going on this path. Keep shining as you are right now. You do not need to contact me directly. When you are happy, we're aligned on the same frequency. I am with you and I am happy with you and for you. You are creating a wonderful path and beautiful surprises are in store for you. Keep moving forward on these beautiful waters. While the waters I sailed were filled with hardships, for you they are peaceful. Enjoy it. Enjoy it all for me. I think that's like if you're looking for a message from a loved one's crossed over, that part is for that. It's red in that tone. I have been building my happiness since my divorce this year. This is spot on. Congratulations on your divorce. I say that because if you're leaving a marriage while you are having an ending and a shift in your life, my guess is you did it to find your peace. You're here. Oh, creative. That was for you. So. Okay. Now I have Debbie. Debbie, you didn't choose. Wait, did you choose? Debbie, did you want inner or did you want past lives? Inner child or past lives? You did it to find your peace. Yeah. I think that I guess I have a different view on marriage. Like I don't think you should stay with somebody forever and ever. And some people aren't your forever. Inner child for Debbie. I guess I don't hold on to that belief system. I know that's really terrible, but I think that some people are your forever. I don't know. But some relationships are karmic and aren't meant to be forever. Okay, so this is for Debbie. What does she need for this week? Get lost. 15, fall deep into the realm of imagination. This is like also if you think about manifesting. Okay, so have you ever gotten lost in your travels only to find an unknown treasure along the way? A treasure that could only be found if you had not known your why. As adults, we pride ourselves of knowing the way we should go and following it. But as children, the way we felt we should go was always the way we found ourselves to already be. There is magic in these lost places, for only when we do not know the way are we open enough for something unexpected to find us. If you have pulled this card, then it might be time to allow yourself to get a little lost. Playfulness exercise. Be open to new experiences and allow for the magic of imagination to pull you into this world. Let your intuition guide you in this practice. It could be through a new idea or a new way of viewing the world. It could be through creating a new piece of artwork or by writing an untold story. Let your imagination run free and do what connects you to the wonderment of childhood. where anything is possible and the extraordinary lies just around the corner. Note, if you would like to physically explore new places and surroundings, remember to do so with navigational guidance and a way to contact someone for help if you become lost. Sorry. Responsive journaling prompt. How does it feel in your body when you think about the idea of being a little lost? Do you feel excitement or dread? Ask yourself why you might feel this way around the idea of being lost. Is there a way to release the desire to be in control around the unknown? Hi, Devry. How are you, dear? Nicole. Nicole, what did you want? I wrote magic. Oh, this one here. Sorry. Magic and mediums. You're welcome, Debbie. Okay, sorry. Just thought I heard my door open. Cleanse. I just poked myself in the eyeball. Jeez, I'm a mess. Okay. Okay. For centuries, shamans of all cultures have utilized sacred plants to heal and cleanse. The wafting of objects and even persons in the burning smoke of white sage, cedar, frankincense, sweetgrass, tobacco, and palo santo is believed to release them of stagnant negative energies and leave them cleansed and refreshed. Scientific studies confirm that white sage smoke is a powerful antiseptic that decreases the amount of harmful bacteria and fungi in the air, in addition to releasing ions that neutralize and purify it. Specific native North American tribes have been using white sage for ceremonial and daily cleansings via the consumption of sage as tea and via a process known as smudging for ages. Spiritually cleanse yourself by smudging. Smudge with smoke. To do this, you need a lighter and matches, a turkey feather, an abalone shell, a palo santo stick, or a sage bundle. A sage bundle with various herbs and flowers like lavender and rose petals is acceptable for use. And loose sage is acceptable as well, only if you are also using an abalone shell or heat-proof bowl with sand to contain it. If white sage is not organic to your area, you can replace it using another smudge stick composed of purifying herbs, or even use a frankincense, incense, or resin. I would use frankincense over sage. I know that there are some people within the native community who really frown upon the use of people like us using white sage. So just because it gets over harvested and it's for their cultural and spiritual practices, just noting that. Once you have your materials ready, place everything in a well-ventilated room. Carpet free is best. Open windows, that helps the negative energy clear. With a window, or just prepare to perform this cleanse outside so that the smoke won't be confined to one space. If you have pet birds or animals, you may want to move them out of the, good Lord, this is long. Okay, you may want them to move out of the space for the duration of the cleansing, as excess of smoke can be detrimental to their health. Then ignite the wide end of the sage bundle where the sage tips are with a match, light, and or lighter with a lighter or candle flame. Jesus Christ. Okay, do you know how to do this? Do you want me to go through this? Breathe onto the bundle so that the leaves are smoldering, and until All you see is the smoke emanating from the bundle. It's normal for the smoke to alternate between black and white. You can then gently place the lit bundle within the abalone shell or just hold it by its stem. Hold the feather with your dominant hand while holding the shell with the bundle itself in the other. Bring both hands together above your crown and begin to fan the smoke all over yourself in an out and downward motion. So like this. As you fan the smoke outwards, hold an intention of cleansing yourself and continue to fan the smoke out and down. As you fan, imagine all of the negative energy being washed away and pushed downwards to the earth where it will be neutralized or transmuted, some people say. Just different words, same thing. Move your hands further down the front of your body, making sure to fan the smoke in front of your face. After you fan your chest area, extend each arm individually to fan both your left and right arm, including under the arms and hands. Later, continue fanning by bringing both arms below your chest and fan the smoke down your legs into strong downward strokes. When you reach your feet, lift each foot, fan underneath your soles of your feet. Finally, repeat this process, but to the back of your body, starting again at the crown by fanning down. Do I need to go through the whole body? It says areas that may need a bit more smudging are those that you may feel called to spend more attention on. That's using your intuition. After you have thoroughly smudged yourself, extinguish the fire within the bundle of putting it head first into the abalone shell and rubbing it along the shell's inner side. Check that there are no burning embers in the bundle and try it. Okay, so just be fire smart. Smudging with spray. If you prefer not to use smoke as a cleansing agent, you can utilize smudging sprays. These sprays I'm not going to go into all of the things about it, but to cleanse yourself with a spray, set the intention of cleansing yourself and begin to spritz yourself by spraying above your head. As the drops fall down from above, they completely cleanse your energetic field by transmuting the negative energies within it. After you have been spritzed with the purifying spray, you can repeat the process but with a spray with Palo Santo or sweetgrass oil or essential oils that attract positive energy into your space. One thing I'm going to say is that you can also, like, I use sprays a lot for when I go places, but even then if you're sensitive, you can just visualize white light. That works too. There's all kinds of things that you can do. Okay, Denise wants the inner child and Anna wants the voice. Okay, so this is for Denise. What does Denise need today on her journey for this week? Disappointment is not the end. There is hope, and even in the darkest of nights. That's number 10. Disappointment can be a difficult emotion to experience, and afterward, it can be hard to have hope again. It is okay to be disappointed. Disappointment is an aspect of life that is inevitable, and being human is a messy journey, full of twists and turns. We do the best we can with the knowledge we have, but not everything turns out as we hope. In truth, no disappointments or mistakes may make us any less of the beautiful, wonderful people that we are. If you have pulled this card, it might be a sign that the fear of disappointment is hindering your path. Practice courage and acceptance. There is always hope, beloved, and happiness. Hope, beloved, and happiness is waiting. Is waiting for you just ahead. Sorry. Acceptance exercise. If you feel fear around disappointment or have experienced disappointment, who hasn't, then it might be good to practice developing acceptance around it. If we are unable to accept that a disappointment has occurred, it can cause prolonged pain. By avoiding the reality of our disappointment, it may feel as though we are protecting ourselves from pain, but it will ultimately hinder our abilities to go after what we desire in the future. Try to accept that disappointments will come and go, and know that you are strong enough to try again. Do not let disappointment or fear of being disappointed stop you from living your glorious life. responsive journaling prompt. When you think about disappointment, how does it make you feel in your body? Do you experience feelings of anxiety or fear? Ask your inner child how they feel about disappointment and if there is anything you can do to help them feel more accepted and loved around disappointments. You're welcome. Anna, you want Voice of the Souls? And then I think we're done. And I will see y'all next week. Anna, how many? This is for Anna. What does she need to know this week that would be most beneficial for her? Karma, 16. Your soul. Part of your energy carries the burden of your karma in two different places or in two different ways. The first relates to what I consider as failures. I carry within me blocking memories related to our former lives with what I didn't manage to build and or overcome. Yet I also carry all the wisdom we've built together and which you don't always use. This is the second way. Today I invite you to work with and understand your karma. Know who you have been to understand the beautiful person you are today. The point isn't to look for excuses for yourself or hide behind your karma, but to discover your inner power, become aware of the challenges and goals that are yours in this life. Using your method of voice, connect to your karma, look at who we have been, and take new steps towards inner transformation. The other thing about karma is it's not really a punishment. Like I always say, like, oh, karma's always going to get you whatever. It's not really about punishment. It is truly about a lesson that needs to be learned or that you didn't get. Feel accepted, I guess. It's not easy, really. It definitely resonates. Well, I'm glad it resonated for you. Your spirit guides. You are in an energy in which you are invited to build something important, to find new independence and freedom. You have been receiving many signs about this for years. You had an idea when you were young. It was a deep desire or project. You may even have talked about it to everyone all the time. But then, as time went by, this idea faded away. You became conditioned towards what you thought was best for you or what others expected of you. Today, you may be reminded about memories from the past. You may come across childhood photos or old documents as if by accident. Conversations with family members may reconnect you to old memories. We are sending you these signs so you may remember your old desires and needs to create. They are to help you have confidence in yourself and be daring. Turn your dreams into realities. The statement, "It's too good to be true," just isn't true. You are capable of giving your best if you want to. The entity. In my last incarnation, I repeated old patterns, karmic patterns. I wasn't really aware of this karma, so I didn't understand what I was experiencing. It was like being afraid of life. I was afraid of what life could bring me. It was like I struggle against life. This may have affected my relationships with others and even with you. Today, I'm aware of this karma and I understand the meaning of what I experienced. I feel more serene about it all. In my next existence on earth, I know I'll do things differently. You may remember my life's hardships, which you may feel was unfair. Release these emotions and feelings. Now I am free. I wish you the same freedom. I no longer have any anger in me, but I can feel yours. It's not right for you. You can't run away from karma. You need to understand karma so you can turn it into strength. Again, karma is really about lessons that need to be learned instead of punishments, right? Just things you need to learn. No one has a choice but to accept disappointment to move on, unfortunately. True story. But also, so one thing I kind of did with my girls last year, my Girl Scout, we haven't been having regular meetings, so it's kind of like sporadic, but every week I would say, okay, what's your failure? What are your wins this week? What are your failures? Because the idea of failing shouldn't be bad or scary. Failing is part of like ultimately getting to goals that you want, because you're going to fail in life a million times. So if you can remove the fear from that and like just be like, how did I fail this week? Because also if you're failing, then that means you're attempting to try. And you're never going to get where you want if you don't attempt. If if you always are just like, I'm only going to do the things that I can't fail at, then you never actually get anywhere. No growth happens. All right. So I hope y'all have a fabulous week, and I will see you next week. Be kind to yourself.